Awesome. Ready?
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
You hear
good
me?
afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
Hi,
Good
Ellie.
afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody.
How are
And
you?
we're well. We're well on a Saturday
Very well.
too. Oh my gosh.
Nice. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Very grateful to have everybody here on Saturday. We could be out there clubbing, getting it on, having a few
Yes.
drinks. But
No,
here we are getting education and figure out how to help the community.
Power
Sure.
Power Saturday. Come on.
Yes,
Nice.
All right.
ma'am.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So what we like to do is a quick introduction, 60 seconds worth each. So if you guys don't mind, just kind of tell us who you are, where you're from, what you are, what you do, what you need, and we'll get it flowing so we can get our guest speakers in here. And we'll start with the beautiful Julz, with the
Oh, hey
amazing Julz.
guys. Thank you all so much for being here. So happy to have you all on a Saturday. Thank you all so much. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Julie Collette. I'm in South Florida. I'm in Pace's community, sub to Gator Owners Club. And I wanted to bring back more to the community here in South Florida and also on a national level. So we decided, yeah, I'm huge on co-living. So my Mount Everest or my 5-year vision is to provide affordable housing to 500 veterans. I'm also a lender and a capital raiser, and I'm also focusing on investments in Dubai. What I wanted to do on this 4-part series is to have these phenomenal guests who are currently doing co-living for sober homes, to bring them here and for them to impart their knowledge on you. And they will be introduced here shortly. So I thank you all for your time. Please ask questions, be engaged, and this is your time as well. So thank you so much for coming, and I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, Edwin. Take it away, Mr. Edwin.
Thank you, Julie. For those that don't know me, my name is Edwin Vetterelli, and like her, I'm down in South Beach myself. And I am into multifamily and just got into co-living with Julie. I do traditional lending myself, and we brought these amazing guests, like she says, to reach out to not just to the community but for the people who need this kind of co-living help. And so this is to help you build and give back to the community as well. So thank you for being here on a Saturday. We could be doing a whole lot more than just grilling and hanging out. But like I said before, I'll say it again, we're here to learn and figure out how we can all get together and give back. So thank you for being here. Appreciate you all. Ozzy?
So is that for me?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Just a
hi.
quick intro.
I'm
Yeah, we
Ozzy
need.
Paul, back here in Australia at the moment. So I'm also now in co-living, just closed on a deal that we'll be using for low-income retirees co-living. So that's very exciting. So we start the conversion on that project on Monday. So
Very well. Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. So we're going to try to speed this up just a tad more because we kind of started a little late because of my fault. Sorry about that. Technical issues on my end. I do apologize for that. But we're going to give the mic to 3 more people, and then we'll catch everybody as we go. Okay. Um, Elizabeth, if you don't mind, please.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Catala. I'm here in South Florida too. I'm an architect as a profession, but I'm focused on transforming any house into a home for a lovely family and anyone that needs our help in doing that. I'm ready to help. I'm here. You can reach me anytime. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ellie. Aaron, can you hear me, Aaron?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I'm a part of the Gator community. I'm learning about co-living, and I'm leasing one of my properties to a friend who's running a sober living house. So wanted to learn more.
Awesome. Glad
Awesome.
to have you here too, Aaron. Fatima, one more. We got Fatima, and then we'll start bringing in our guests. Fatima?
Hi everyone, I'm Fatima Silva. I am a registered nurse, but I have a background in construction, and I am interested in multifamily and assisted living. but recently also had my interest raised towards sober living. So yeah, I'm excited about tonight.
Awesome. Thank you all for being here. Again, my apologies. We have to cut the intro short. My fault, technical issues. But as long as you guys keep coming in on the following Saturdays, and even throughout the time that we're here, just drop your chats and your needs and your wants on the chats, and we can all network that way. So we can just get everybody up and going. So with that being said, let me bring in my first guest up here. He has an interesting story. He comes from a pair of parents who were successful business owners, right? And they lost it to addiction. He is the youngest of four. By ninth grade, he had his first child. By graduation, he had his second child. So that just goes to show you where his mentality is starting to go. The hustle, the grinding, just to level up, just another step forward, right? From there, the pain, the purpose, the hustle, he turned that hardship and turned it into a blueprint for success. A huge impact at that point, right? The faith drove him towards a direction. And when life said, buddy, you ain't gonna make it, he just said, watch me. Along this whole entire vision that he had, of course, you gotta have that partner to take him through that road, through that stage, right? And from that affordable housing idea that came around that corner to service of ownership, that partner has been with him the whole entire step of the way. And although we've known him by one name, which I will introduce him here pretty soon, we also know him as Mr. I Am the Deal. And that's because he finds every opportunity, he grabs it, and he builds from it. So today, he has gone from building to mentoring, to deal making, to empowering his family, and reminding us that if you do chase that deal, you yourself can become that deal as well. Help me welcome the next man to come to the stage, Jermaine Walker.
All right, I'm bringing him in, guys. Thank you so much. Awesome introduction, Edwin.
Thank you. Where is he? Is he here? My guy.
Yeah, he's here. Mr. I'm the Deal. There he is.
Oh, there we are.
What's happening? What's happening?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Just
She's getting ready to turn she's that's one of the conceited moments. She got me blurred out, but she's
No, I'm fixing it, guys. I'm so sorry.
She's hogging the camera.
right.
Why does this
There we
always
go.
have to be us? Like, we're gonna be known for not knowing how to be on Zooms in a minute.
You
like,
guys are fine.
Background. Go to
okay, background. Oh, there we are. Okay, there we are, y'all.
There we go. There we go. I'm here.
Hey, guys.
We're
Thanks for
here.
joining us. So
Thank
again,
you
this
for
is
having us.
You're welcome. It's Jermaine and Melissa Walker. He goes by Mr.
Well-
I'm the Deal. That's Edwin and Melissa. Welcome.
How's it going?
What's
How's it going?
up,
Sit.
Edwin?
Since we already have Melissa, let me already introduce her since she's here, huh?
Oh,
There you
sure.
go.
This-
okay.
This promising young lady right here, she's built, I mean, an operator that has the industry caught on the standstill, and she does it all with a smile, as fearless as they possibly come. And her journey has gone through trenches. Kudos to you, my girl. Her hardship
you.
faces homelessness, and well, that one hit home. Excuse me. That one faces homelessness, and it carries a weight of instability for most people that most people can only imagine. But she vowed that one day she'll create a safe place for herself and her needs. But what happened then after that is that she made a promise to herself that she would return that favor, and that's how she started creating this.
Yes. Yes.
So-
yes.
Every story that she has, every person that she serves, every house that she helps bring to life, she's all part of a mission that keeps everybody else growing. There is a saying that my parents taught us, my parents and my grandfather that taught us. Every, happy life, happy wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
These two young couple right here are the perfect example of
Yeah.
the opposite of that. Of the opposite of that. They are happy couple, healthy home, blessed family and friends that get to share their journey. So
Yes.
thank you to the both of you for being here on a Saturday where we could be out there grilling it up and having a few
Right.
drinks with some friends and family.
Yes. Mhm.
But in case,
Yes.
the other case, you decided to come out here and for the next 3 more Saturdays after this, to share with everybody exactly what you've done, how you've done it, and what is it that you guys are planning to do into the future. So thank you for being here, the both of you.
That's right.
Appreciate
We're
you, appreciate
honored
you.
and
Honored.
we're thankful to you and Julie as well. So thank y'all so much too for having us.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah. And Edwin, don't be making me cry, man. You got emotional a minute and I just felt my lip about to start trembling. I'm not crying.
I'm sorry, is that, this is for Julie and myself, this topic right here, we bring you guys, not you, just you, but people that we bring here, we bring it for the community, right?
Yes.
This particular topic is very personal for people like us because it involves a lot of people in our family and in our lives and people we've met along the way. So when one way or another, we've been there and we understand what you guys are doing. And it's not a whole lot of people that you hear that they're doing what you're doing. So flowers to the both of you and kudos at the very same time. And I hope you get triple the blessings that you guys are doing right now and keep on that safe and beautiful journey that you guys are doing right this very second.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
appreciate
Thank
you.
That's
Appreciate
awesome.
you.
So what we'll do, we'll turn it over to you both. And if you just want to give a background.
Yes, absolutely. I'll let my husband go first.
Ladies first.
Okay, well, shoot, I'll take the wheel. Look. Well, yes, you guys. So, just a little bit about me. I grew up as a military brat. So I have been all around the world, but there's some things that you sometimes go through that you don't expect. For instance, as Edwin have kind of mentioned a little bit about my background. Unfortunately, we went through a time where my parents and we were homeless for a while. And through going through that experience as a kid, I really didn't understand, honestly, that I was homeless. Like, I mean, it was just part of what it was. So I really didn't even, understand it. It wasn't until I got older that I was like, oh my God. Like, I remember staying at a shelter. I remember staying in my dad's cab. I remember not having anything to eat and eating some chips and pretending to act like I wasn't hungry when I was hungry, things like that I remember. But I knew that I always wanted to serve and give back. Like, I knew when I got older, I was going to own that house with a whole bunch of kids sitting having fun, like on Annie. That was where my head was then as a kid. But I knew I was going to do that. And then, just growing up and going through other tribulations and kind of understanding, how finances work and how things happen, that life happens that you don't even expect.
He's a boy
Right.
and she's a friend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's for sure.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Are y'all
Sorry.
there? Okay, perfect. Okay. So I remember that I actually haven't even shared this part of the story before, but I was going through a really bad time, going through a divorce a long time ago before my boo, of course. And I was praying to God because it was my daughter's birthday party coming up. And I was just praying and I was like, God, please help me. Like, how am I going to give my daughter this birthday party that she was used to having, like these extravagant birthday parties? And I remember being at work, laying on the desk, like, I don't know why my head was down. I don't even know why they didn't fire me for that. But my head was down and I was just kind of like talking to God, silently. And I went through this period of time, y'all, where I felt like I wasn't hearing God. And I don't know how many believers we have on here, but I'm a believer. So I'm gonna just kind of share my story. I'm not trying to convert anybody, but I remember thinking like, man, I'm not hearing from God no more. Like, I'm not hearing from him. And my dad was like, that's because you got to spend more time with him. But when I was at work that day, you guys, for the first time in a long time, I heard very clearly when I was praying about, having my daughter a birthday party, that instead for me to give birthday parties to other children. And I remember I sat up and I was like, I think I just heard from God. And I remember calling my aunt up real quick and I'm like, Angie, I think I heard from God, like for real, like this is what happened. And I was so excited. The crazy thing is I wasn't even like praying to help nobody else, to be honest. I was just praying to figure out how I was going to make it happen. And instead of God answering that prayer, he's like, hold on, I want you to figure out how to do it for other people. So long story short, guys, me and my mother, years later, like I didn't listen right away. Years later, me and my mother and Jermaine got together and we was talking and we was like, I shared that vision that I had before of what I was told to do that I wasn't obedient with right away. And explained that, I wanted to do birthday parties. So then we started what we call Rock Your Party, where we started giving birthday parties to homeless children. We were even going in and out of the prisons, taking, little girls to their mothers who were, serving life sentences and different sentences, taking them there to have a birthday party with their moms.
With the Girl Scouts.
Yes, we partnered with Girl Scouts to do it. And I remember just feeling like empty, like, man, we're giving birthday parties and they're happy for this hour. But then what's next? What happens next? They're going home to foodless kitchens. They're going home, to a grandmother who could barely move around, but she's taking care of them because her child is, in prison. So we knew that we wanted to do more. And then when we knew that we wanted to do more, we wanted to start from the root, because Jermaine would talk to the women and they would say that whenever they got out of prison, they didn't have nowhere to go. There was no community or support system for them. So that's when our company was born, to start doing our sober living houses, to make sure that they had a landing place to land safely and have that support. So that's how I got into sober living, and I'll let my boo explain next.
Nice.
Right.
Very
So
nice.
so I got a similar background. My mother and father, they were both like crazy serial entrepreneurs back in the 80s. They started their own detail shop, and you know a big investor ended up investing into them, and so they kind of like somewhat franchised it around the city. So they were millionaires in the 80s. Like we literally went from having nothing, living in the hood, to we had everything. This is like within a span of a year and a half. Um, got big too fast, and then they got introduced to drugs. I don't know if I just cats out the bag. I just gave up my age around, but I'm an 80s baby. So if y'all can remember the 80s, the 80s is when like crack cocaine like really just hit, and then it just took over a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. So they got introduced to that drug, and I literally, and I'm the youngest of four boys. And I seen us go from having everything, nothing, to everything, to right back in, what I'm saying, going right back to the hood. My mother and my other two brothers moved in with my grandmother, and I wanted to stay with daddy. I'm a daddy's boy. So staying with him, and then every day we would go to John 316. I don't know if y'all know about John 316. It's like a day center. So we would go there and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow.
And I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking we just having fun. There's a whole bunch of other kids there. I mean, I'm about 4 or 5 years old at this time. As kids there, we get to eat. I get to play around, and then go right back home. And every day we would go visit my mother and my brothers. My daddy would drop me off and come pick me up whenever he got off work or whatever he was doing. So one day I come home come home from school early, and I just walked into the room and see my father crying. I'm like, he was bawling. He didn't know I was there. So I just walked in and seen him crying, and he was trying to fix himself up, and he just kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." So we went and visited my mother and my brother, and then my mother and my brothers, and then I heard him in the background arguing. So she came in and said, "Tell your son what you're about to do." And so he was like, "Nah, son, I'll be right back." She said, "No, tell him what you're about to do." So he ended up telling me that he had to go away for a while. Um, and as we was talking, I'm like, "Nah, Dad, I'm ready to go home," because for a year it was just me and him. So this
Right.
day he got it set up that he knew that he was about to leave. So he ended up telling me and my brothers them, "I love y'all. Y'all understand when y'all get older." And I'm crying, and I'm like crying because I didn't understand. And then he said, "Son, you'll understand when you get older. I'll be right back." At this point, I'm kicking and screaming. So he just literally hugged me. I can still feel his tears on my cheek right now. So he hugged me, and just kind of like pushed away, and then he left out the door. That's at 5. I didn't see him again till I was 17 years old. So seeing him again at 17 years old, the day that we
12
was
years
burying
ago.
my oldest brother, who got killed by the police.
Mm.
So I had a lot of animosity built up. And years later, I'm gonna get to that, but years later, he told me why when he left that day, I just said from 17 to like 23. But when he came back, I asked him, like, "Why did you come back and then leave right again?" He said, "The look of disappointment that you gave me when you looked at me that day." Because I guess he thought I was still that little kid that was just gonna be running up to him. You know what I'm saying? Like we buried my oldest brother. You know what I'm saying? The one
Yeah.
who stepped in as the man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so when I seen him, I just remembered when we was kids, the dope boys would be kicking down our door like 2, 3 in the morning because my mother owed them money for crack. So they would literally kick in our doors. They come in our house. They taking food out the icebox, food out the pantry. They taking our TVs, our Nintendos and Ataris and all of that good stuff and stuff like that. And so, you know, I thought about all of that. And I thought about the reason why my brother turned to the streets, because he was like 10 at the time. So he had to go, you know, breaking people's houses. He had to go, or whatever situation may be, and pay other drug users money to go to the pawn shop to pawn those things, to go to the grocery store to get money to feed us. So thinking about that, I was thinking about all of that the day I seen my father when we was burying him. So I had a lot of hatred in my heart. I was very, very angry. I was super, super angry. So fast forward, when I reunited with him, I had like 4 kids at the time, and some just I forgave them. And some told me to ask him, like, why did you stay gone so long? He said, I haven't forgiven myself, but the day that I seen you, you just looked like you hated me. And it hit me. I felt bad after he told me his story. He was battling with his own demons. You know, as I got older, I understood how relationships work. You know, it's not all cookies and creams and lollipops and rainbows. It is not.
Yeah.
So me knowing that at that time, I'm like, I was understanding. I'm like, okay, I can understand that. And when he broke down to me what led him to drugs was his past. I didn't understand his past and what his reasons was. And he was broken, you know. And for a long time, he didn't tell me that he turned to drugs because his father used to beat him. And then, you know, because he was the oldest. So he was used to come in the house, knock my grandma up, beat on my grandma, beat on him for trying to protect his mother. And then, you know, he envied his mother because, going back, my uncle told me this, when he was a baby, my grandmother had him in like in a hacky sack in Arkansas when she was picking cotton. And it was days that he didn't eat because she was breastfeeding the slave owners, not the slave owners, but the people she was working with. She was breastfeeding their kids. So it was a disconnect between them.
Other people's kids.
Yeah, she was my grandmother used to breastfeed other people's kids. So it was days that he didn't eat. And I didn't even know this story. I feel real, real bad. My uncle, his brother, told me that, you know, my grandmother, she used to excuse what everything that my father done because she blamed herself. And my uncle told me what the reason was. And so when I found out all of that, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. But when I forgave him, like it was a major relief off me. And so to this day, we have a house named after him, and had the house named after my mother and my father. You know, and my mother, she's on drugs and stuff like that. She's been in prison 3 times. So fast forward, the first prison that we went through to throw birthday parties into was the very first prison I used to visit my mother in. It was a very emotional, and I'm a grown man. Gangsters don't cry, but a cat got kicked after we left there because I had to get
not literally, guys.
I don't kick cats. So just for those of cat lovers, I don't kick cats.
The same.
Yeah. These feelings and emotions have to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I said all that to say that, you know, like, we're real big in philanthropy. So our why is different because I'm doing it for that little boy who used to get the door kicked in, and, you know what I'm saying, dope boys, and, you know what I'm saying, like literally pushing us down, and your mama owed us money and that type of stuff. And to fast forward to today, me and my mother and my father have the best relationship ever. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
So this is what I do it for. You know
Healing's happened.
Healing. Like we were able to sit down and have an adult conversation. And they told me their why and the demons that they were battling. And me being a man, and especially having 5 kids now, I had to accept that, because who am I to judge your reasons for doing what you've done? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, fast forward to the day, everything is it's way better than what it was. And I don't know if y'all seen the I think Julie, you seen the page on my website where I'm on it right there with my mother and father. But yeah. We just got married last October, and we pushed our wedding up like 6 months because my father turned 70 October 19th. So we got married on the day that my father turned 70. So it was pretty amazing how both my parents at my wedding.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And so let me just say this to you. It goes to show you how much, Mel, you said earlier, don't make you cry, you got emotional. There's a lot of stuff that the both of you do or have at this point have gone through that I myself have been through, right?
Mm.
And so, which is why it's a bit personal, this particular topic that we're going to hit, because just to show my age, I understand the 80s. Leave it alone. I understand the 80s. I'm from New York, right? So we came from Sicily and we landed in New York, right? And so in the 80s, yeah, the crack and cocaine was the heavy hitters, right? And so anybody that understands New York would remember that 42nd Street, all the way from I want to say Park Avenue, all the way to Broadway and 12th Street, and all the way along the Major Deacon Expressway was all about prostitution, crack, and cocaine.
I remember
And
New Jack
so-
City. That was my movie.
Right, all the way up to 100, and I want to say 128th Street, all the way up there, right? So it was just that one big L. And so when we came here, my mom had 2 jobs, my dad had 3, and I remember that we didn't, even with 5 jobs in the family, and at the time it was just 3 of us, we didn't have or they didn't have enough money to give us my favorite milk, my favorite milk for the cereal, or milk for my favorite cereal, right? Which was Frosted Flakes. So the idea, just to let you know how the mentality works, is put some water in it, and don't worry, Frosted Flakes has enough sugar that's going to make it sweet enough
Can't
for
even
you.
taste the difference.
Been there,
almost.
done that.
Can't even
Trust
taste the
me.
difference. And I'm like, okay, great. But the problem is, at this point, now I'm like about 8, 9 years old, and I'm starting to understand this. So now I turned 13, 14, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm out of here. And I left. And I left, and I was homeless for I want to say about 7 years. I mean 7 months. 7 months, and it's because my mom found me. My mom found out where I was hanging out at, and I used to sleep in a 88 Toyota Camry that was burgundy with a white hood, 1 hubcap, a black door, and I was missing the front grille. And she
You
found
stuck
me.
out like a sore thumb.
Huh?
So you stuck out like a sore thumb.
When you remember the things like what you guys been through, you remember how you're gonna give it back, right?
That's right.
And so I remember that. I remember where I came from, that because my dad wanted me at one point to leave, because not because he was angry, but because he came from a hardworking family, and his definition was, no matter how bad it is, you got to put the work in. I never understood that. I understood my stomach growling, and I got tired of eating Frosted Flakes with water. Like, dude, I had it in school. I know you got to put milk in this thing, right? And so
Right.
I didn't want to do that, right? And so my mom found me after like 7 months. I was sleeping under the George Washington Bridge. My bathtub was the Hudson River, and so I was running around the streets just doing dirt, just to make ends meet. And so I came back home, and like you, I had that epiphany, and they taught me. And today, my father passed away 9 years ago, April. But like you guys moved your wedding up just to have him there. We had to move my little brother's wedding up for the first of the December 31st into January of 2016, because my dad passed away 4 months later. So we wanted to make sure that he was there for that.
Yes.
So I understand exactly all of it. Everything you guys are saying, I understand. So cool to see you guys for this, man. Like,
Appreciate you.
for real. Love you guys for that. Julie?
Yeah. Well, Jermaine, thank you so much for sharing, and Melissa and Edwin. We all come from different stories and different backgrounds that lead us up to things, and for the purpose that we're here to deliver. I mean, we're all here for a certain purpose, and we're going to align with our assignment. So without further ado, Jermaine and Melissa, tell us how you got started in sober living. You kind of laid the foundation, right? So what are you going to impart your wisdom with us for the next, time we have here in the next 3 weeks? So however you want to take us through that, and we'll interject. You guys ask questions as well. All we did was the background so far, and it's very emotional. Everyone that's here, you
Yeah.
have a story, and you're doing this for a reason, right? It's purpose over profit. So thank you all for
Yes.
being here, and I'm going to turn it over to both Jermaine and Melissa.
Yes, I like hearing you say purpose over profit because I don't know if anybody's ever been on any of our webinars that we've done. We've only done 2, but in there we always mention profitable purpose because that's exactly what this is. This we led with this by serving because that's just kind of naturally what I knew that was my calling to do was to serve, and it happened to just match up with Jermaine as well. So it kind of like 2 worlds combined to create this place of where we're both serving in ways that we want to serve. So I'm excited to kind of tell you guys how we started. So when we first got started with Sober Living, you all, I'm gonna let y'all know, I'm just gonna be real. We didn't know what we were doing, okay? All we knew is we wanted to serve. We knew there was a need for it. I mean, if you guys ever go downtown in your own cities, I'm sure you see all those people that's homeless. I'm sure you hear about mental health. Matter of fact, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So you're always hearing these things about it. And one thing about mental health and addiction, I can tell you guys, is it does not discriminate. It will come get you out your mansion if you have one. It will come take you from being a CEO of a company and bring you all the way down. I mean, it does not discriminate. It can hit anybody. But with us, we knew that we wanted to do it, and we used to go around like asking people. Like I remember dialing up different sober living homes trying to get information. Nobody would tell me nothing. I'm thinking like, why are you hogging up this information if the purpose is to serve the community? But yet you don't want to tell. You don't even want to give me a lead. So I just started doing my own. Yeah, right. So I just started doing my own research, and we literally learned by trial and error. So with our first house, I remember we went and we got a rental house for our first one. We didn't use any of the properties that we owned at the time. We got a rental property, and we were like, we're going to test this out. We're going to test it out for a year, see how it works, and go from there. So I remember the very first thing I did was I created a flyer. This flyer, I shared it. Y'all gonna get me later on. Y'all gonna learn, and y'all gonna get me for this later on, especially now that we're sharing this word with everybody. I'm bad with social media. I'm a very private person. I'm just now getting to the point where I'm even telling people what we do. Like, y'all won't believe it, but like usually if it's our friends, they don't even know what we do. Like, we keep it very secret. Now the state know what we do, and the people who are in this arena know what we do, but I've always just been very private. So we created a flyer. I put this flyer on Craigslist. This was like 3 years ago. I put this flyer on Craigslist, even though it wasn't even, a popular thing at that time. Craigslist was old by this time, but I still put it on there. And I put it on Facebook. And I literally just sent out the flyer wherever I could send it. And we started getting calls. But y'all listen, remember I said our first house was a rental. But we didn't even have a house yet. Like, we hadn't even secured where this house was gonna be yet. And I'm putting on here opening soon. What's up, Edwin?
So you basically, if I'm following you, you created this idea, you create the flyer, you put it on Craigslist, don't have the house yet. You might have found the house or whatever,
Right.
thinking about it at least. Create this thing, sent it out, and pop goes the weasel.
Yeah, literally like that.
We didn't think it was gonna go that fast.
Yeah, it took us by storm.
We thought we had time.
Yeah, I thought we was gonna like build up a little bit, but literally, I didn't include. I sent it to hospitals. I called. I asked to speak to case managers. So now everybody has this flyer, and they all know that. I can't remember I think it was February. So what we did on there is we told them that it was opening in March. It was going to be this grand opening in March, right? You guys, we started building up a list of people who was waiting for March to come to come and get into this house. So what we did is we was working hard, y'all. We was like, shoot, we don't have a choice. We made it to where we didn't have a choice to back out because now people were going to be dependent on us. So needless to say, we had a wait list when we opened our very first house. And when we opened our very first house, I remember we went and one person, the hospital called us and was like, we have this lady. We want you to come meet her. She needs a place. She's going to get discharged on this day. Can you come and meet her? And I was like, yes. Okay. So we gonna meet her because now we're getting close to time that we actually did secure the house. So we secured the house, furnished it. Matter of fact, we used credit cards to furnish it because we didn't have cash money. So we used credit cards to furnish it. And then I went to go meet Miss Arnie, and I just said her name. But we went to go meet Miss Arnie. I remember walking in. You guys, keep in mind, I don't have no medical background. I tried to go to school 3 times, y'all, and each time I didn't finish through for college.
Nurse
Okay,
school. She was one of the ones giving the band-aids to the doctors and stuff.
that was me. That was me. But
don't worry,
I'm walking in-
Jermaine. Don't worry about it. I got one for you. Hang on tight. Let her finish. I'm gonna throw
Make
this one
sure
at
you
you.
get him too good, Edwin. So I'm walking into one of the most popular hospitals here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm walking into the hospital and I'm like, I'm here to see Miss Arnie such and such. And they were like, okay, yes, she's in room, blah, blah, blah. Pointing me to her room. I went in there and had my checklist, y'all. And I went in there and I talked to her. She was this little frail lady. She was in her 70s and she was laying in the bed and she had a very big personality, okay? So I'm talking to her and we're going through all the medical questions, the little different things that I created to ask. And basically I accept her into the program and I'm like, okay, we're going to get it arranged for you to get picked up and then, you'll move in. So y'all, Miss Arnie moved in. I think we had like 4 people move in on one day, y'all.
One day.
Okay.
One day.
It was quick. I say it was quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Oh,
It was quick,
That's
fast, and in a
incredible.
hurry. So they moved in. But anyways, I don't want to go too far. I don't know if I'm even saying too much, but basically that's what happened. We didn't know what we were doing. We made a flyer, didn't even have a house yet. We hadn't secured our first property to put it in because we were renting the first one. Once we did that, and then finally when we did find it, the landlord was willing to take a chance on us, which is, I'm shocked, but she was willing to do it. And we got right in there. We got it furnished, got our first person, we one person at first, but ended up doing 4 in one day. That particular house holds 8. We got the whole complete house full within 30 days. And then from there, we was just like, whoa, like, can you believe this actually worked? They trusted us. Like,
Right.
what?
This worked.
Because we wasn't even certified at the
Jermaine.
time either.
Uh-huh.
Jermaine, you want to laugh?
Yes.
This one,
Always.
This one try to go. This one right here next to you with the really big cheesy smile from ear to ear, right?
Okay.
She did all this. Tried to go to school 3 times. Did all this with a flyer. I got
Yes.
3 college degrees, 5 certificates, and the joke is that every time I text Julie, my text messages are with typos. Go figure that.
I saw
Right.
titles stood out. Yep. I actually had a flyer I could actually show y'all, but it's really funny. So we did
I'm
it.
proud of you, girl.
Thank
You can show us
you.
it.
You want me
Absolutely.
to show?
Whatever.
Yeah, let me show it to you.
Me
Like, should I
share.
hold my phone up to it or what?
Yeah, she got it on the thing.
Hold
And the
on.
crazy
Don't
thing
actually
about it is,
screenshot,
it's,
no, but I guess it's okay.
I
I
can
guess
get
you don't have to.
I can get all all that information.
Wait, hold on.
Uh-oh.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Just
The,
Okay,
the
gotcha.
ironic part about that is that I also went, so you can see how that works. I also went, so I approached Julie a few months back and I had this idea about I wanted to cater to the military because I'm prior military myself, so is Julie.
Mhm.
thank you for your
But
service.
Thank you for your service.
Julie is about light years ahead of me when it came to this. So we vibe very well when it came to that topic. And so I said, I want to follow you. I want to learn from you so we can create, opportunities for these homeless vets, right? So I'm very familiar with Virginia Beach because I was stationed there, but I'm also familiar with the VA down here in Miami because I go to the VA here, right? So I went down here and I walked into and I can't even remember what the name of this place is. Some kind of social services for the VA.
Mhm.
And I walked in there and I said to the lady, "Hey, look, I'm just trying to get some information on how I can house some of these homeless vets into a home or something like that." And it was almost like saying, "Hey, I just want to know if you had the numbers for me to play at the lottery, and we'll share the lottery ticket." And then I called Julie. I rolling the dice and hope to God you hit the number. Then I called Julie. I'm like, "You don't know what this thing of a lady told me. Like
Yeah.
we're trying, and I was fuming. I was hot because I'm 3rd generation. I've got 2 boys in the military. They're 4th generation. Julie herself, she's a vet, and we have a lot of vets that are member in this community as well. So we all have some kind of love, for people who are serving, people who who already served and people who need help amongst civilians
Absolutely.
as well. So when you have people who are just there just to, oh, don't know what to tell you, find a place and die. Sorry, that's how I feel about it. So, you know, Julie's the one that calms me down when I get that upset about trying to not help people out, right?
Yeah.
But you guys put it together and you go out there, you do it, and you bring that hope, man. I mean, congrats on
Yes.
that success right
Thank
there.
you.
Appreciate that.
And there,
Appreciate
you speak of, you know, the community of veterans. Like I told y'all, like my dad is a veteran. Like my whole family on my dad's side, veterans. My whole family on my mama's side, addicts. But I know, hey, we can laugh about it because this is part of the journey now, okay? But
Yeah.
but it's just funny because actually there is like such a huge need for veterans. There's, I mean, again, you go downtown, you see it all day long, and you know there's so many veterans who, some of them don't really even get the resources that they need or the support and services that they need really to help, especially in mental health. Like mental health is just, there needs to be a whole change on how mental health is handled. I wanted to say real quick, because Julie, I did send you a copy of the flyer. Want to make sure you
Yes.
got that. I texted
I have
to
it.
you. I'm not good
Oh.
with electronics, so I couldn't figure out how to put it on there.
Oh,
But
no worries.
I was also gonna say earlier when I was mentioning I went to school to be a nurse 3 times and didn't do it, whatever. The crazy thing about this industry is like you don't even have to be medically trained, guys. Like, don't think like, oh well, you know, I'm a server vet, so I gotta know this and I gotta know that. No, this is a learning process. Like little by little, you're gonna learn these things. Like at first, I was scared of mental health. I didn't even know really what it was. I didn't know much when we got started. So I remember getting a couple of calls from some facilities, and I was like, "No, I'm sorry, we're not medically trained. We can't service someone who's having a mental
Right.
health crisis." But now, you guys, I feel like I know a little bit now. You know what I'm saying? If a mental health home calls me, I know the questions to ask. I know how to talk to them. I know who will be a problem for any of our homes. I know now that, you know, if I have 2 or 3 veterans in this house, I don't need to mix with somebody young in that house because veterans, they're a little bit different. They're used to an extremely structured environment, and they don't have that tolerance to deal with some 19-year-old kid who doesn't want to listen. So
Right.
those are the little things that you're going to learn when you're dealing with the different demographics, because you know, you gotta know who you're putting in the house and make sure it's going to be a good fit. But all in all, like there is such a need for veterans. And even if you're not medically trained, you guys, like veterans, there's resources available to help them. So if you have, and I'm not trying to skip ahead, I'm so sorry, but just
No, you're
real quick,
fine.
like with veterans, when you take them in, like don't be afraid if you're starting out and you don't know what to do, because the good thing is with the VA, which is most veterans are attached to the VA gives them case management services. And through case management services, you don't have to be their counselor, you don't have to be their mental health provider or anything like that, because you're going to outsource that so that they will still, like if they come into your house, this is where they're living, but this is who you go to for treatment for this is who you go see for this, and it all works together as a big circle. So don't think you have to wear all the hats.
1 second, Edwin. Let's Lance has a question, so he'll jump in.
What's up, Lance?
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's going on,
Good, buddy. How are you?
Hey, thanks for sharing. I can relate to your story, Mr. I Am the Deal. I can't remember your name. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. That's
Jermaine. But yeah.
Jermaine. Sorry about that, Jermaine. But yeah, thank you for sharing, man. I know it's not easy to be vulnerable like that, and I do the same thing. I can relate. My dad was a drug addict, alcoholic. I didn't know him much growing up, in and out of my life, you know. So I could really relate to that. I appreciate you, you know, sharing your heart with us with that. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm drawn to sober living. I've got a home, my first home in San Diego, California. I'm in East Texas. I've got an operator and a team there. We're looking for our second property now, and that's kind of why we're up on this. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Very nice.
Yes.
So it's such a we're called to serve, you know, and to just, I don't know, it's a higher purpose is what I was kind of wanted to say. I'm also a believer. Thank you so much. This is a man on his knees praying.
I see him. I was looking at that. I'm on. I was
It's
looking
an
at
army
that.
of angels showing up, you know,
Yes,
to
indeed.
answer his prayer. But anyways, I wanted to ask you guys a couple questions.
Okay.
You know, first off, how long ago did you start your first home? How long has it been?
3 years.
Almost.
All
Oh, I'll let
right.
you talk.
Oh no,
I
it's
be
almost
talking
4.
too
Like,
much.
yeah, no, you good. It's been almost 4 years. Dang, it's been a long time. I didn't realize
Wow.
it's been that long. But it's almost 4 years.
What about
Okay.
for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just we're like stable. We've been stabilized for about only 4 or 5 months now. So
Okay.
Oh,
it took about
Congrats,
6
though.
months.
That's good.
Thank you. It took about 6 months to close the deal. It was a sub 2 hybrid, you know, seller finance deal. I was able to, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm so proud of this deal because I was able to get the equity for principal only payments, you know, so that was pretty exciting.
You,
Well,
And like
dang.
you need to toot your
yeah,
own horn.
4.25% interest rate on 700K mortgage.
In
and-
California?
and- yes, yeah.
That's a steal. Oh, dang. We're going to talk to
Yeah,
you,
I
Lance.
know.
It took a while because the realtors had no idea what we were talking about. They
Yeah.
kept trying to get us to do an assumable loan, and you know it's a fun story. But I ended up closing the deal at a peach farm out here in Texas. It was really
And a
odd.
peach farm. That's a story.
Yeah, but
It shows you can close anywhere, right?
yeah, I had
indeed.
my wife. Well, I didn't have her, but she started filming. I got a box of peaches, and I'm like, they call me because the realtor didn't know how to pitch creative to them, and so thankfully they let me talk to the sellers, and we were able to directly walk them through everything. And we had other deals, other sellers that we had them reach out to and everything like that. But I wanted to actually ask you guys, how many homes do you have now, and are you guys operating them all, or do you have an operator now, or and are they all like in the same city, or those are things I'm curious about.
Yeah, so we have a team, but when I tell you our team compared to, I'm not sure how big your team is in Texas, you might slap me. But so the answer to your question is 6 houses, in Oklahoma and 1 in Texas.
Okay.
We just did a deal with one of the people in our that was on our call the other day, so we are actually about to open up another home because we are completely full right now. One thing that sucks in this industry is when someone calls you and you cannot place them. That sucks. You probably know about that. And then the next question, if I make sure I caught everything, how many people do we have on our team? I think you asked.
Yeah, are you operating it, or do you have are you guys operating this, or do you have an operator?
No. So
Awesome.
so this is how we do it. So
Yeah.
we do a team of 3. That's going to sound crazy. I don't know how
Okay.
many people you use, but we
I
use a
love
team
that.
of 3, okay? The team of 3 is it's our live-in house supervisor. That's a peer, somebody who's actually going through addiction on their own, right? Okay?
Yep.
So that's the house supervisor. And not to start talking too quickly, sometimes I can kind of just go on and on, but that person is not paid a full paycheck or living for free either. That person gets $50 off to have that position, and they're really proud because the whole thing is we're teaching people, we're building people, we're building leaders. So whenever we see that within somebody, then they're excited. I mean, you know what it is, they get happy when you praise them. They get happy when you point them out and say something great about them. So that leadership role is like a privilege. Like they feel privileged. So we got that person. Then we have our house manager, which manages. So like, for instance, like we have 2 in Tulsa. So Tulsa has its own house manager. Ponca City has its own, and then Oklahoma City have its own, right? So different cities. Now, if they were close, if they buckled, probably would have the same person. But because these are like within hours of each other, you will have your house supervisor, your house manager, and your manager is the one who keeps their eyes on your houses. Okay, they're reporting everything to you. And then 3 is our person who does the UAs. So each team has that. And then of course, I know you're probably using this, I hope you are. We got cameras inside and outside of all the houses, so at any time we can pull up on our phone the houses and look at them. We can see what's going on. Now, the one thing that we do that some people are like, why do you still do that? We still do house meetings on Tuesdays, but we do it virtually with our the people who's in our program. And the reason why we do that is because, again, it's kind of a personal thing for us. Like this is part of us. This is like what we were called to do. So I'm not as hands off as I could be. Could I stop doing those calls? Yes, I don't have to be on those calls, but it's personal. So
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt us. We jump on a call with you guys. We jump on a call with John Doe, so we can jump on a call and know what our people, you know, how they like the program, what's working, what's not working, what do they want to share. And I think doing it that way, they still have a respect for you, so they do feel like, oh, I'm not just a number, I'm not just a bed.
Right. You make
You
it
know?
personal.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it is a lot of them need that, because a lot of them can't call home because they burnt so many bridges.
Yes.
So they don't have too many people to talk to. And sometimes they get tired of talking to their case managers, the parole officers, or whatever the situation may be. So to be on a call, and we do it per house. It's not, we don't put all of the houses on one. We do per house. So everybody hops on the Zoom. So sometimes you might have somebody outside in the car, you know, on the phone. Somebody may go in the kitchen. And our houses is set up to where we have 2 living areas. So somebody may go in the living room area, kitchen. It's a good feeling to know that, like, when they jump on, sometimes they might be tired, whatever situation may be, but they be excited. It's like they're in school. They get to, you know what I'm saying, chop it up and talk, get some stuff off their chest. Because anytime somebody come into our program, I always tell them welcome home.
Yeah, we do. They're gonna see our face.
That's
like,
cool.
I
love that.
pop up and I go to almost
nice.
every house and have a
It's like a
conversation
safe space for them, right?
Yeah, it's definitely that.
Yes.
And one more
That's cool.
thing, Lance, one more thing that we do, we make sure that everybody who's working in our program represents well. So like I told you, a lot of people here that we know that's our friends, they don't even know we do this. I mean, we keep it private, right? But whenever we're like sitting and hiring somebody, they already know, hey, I need you to offer Chick-fil-A service. Can you offer Chick-fil-A service?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like it needs to be my pleasure. Like
My
don't-
pleasure.
That's so good.
Yeah. And I kid you not, that's exactly what we say. It has to be Chick-fil-A service. And I will meet with them individually. No one else is hiring for us. We're hiring. And I got to feel your spirit, because what I can't have you do is walk in and think you're going to talk to them any kind of way, because they're already going through enough. They already fighting battles that, you know, that's out of, I mean, some of the stories we hear, we're just like, what? So we make sure that they're going to give them that hug. Not hug. I had to stop that, y'all. I got in trouble for that. I just want to let y'all know. Because it's really easy to love on them. You probably know it. You want to hug them.
Yeah,
you
you can hug them.
I just give them fist bumps.
But me, I'd be like, you know, because I love them.
Excuse me, Melissa.
Yeah.
Great question, because it's part of what you were talking about. UA, can you explain you use that abbreviation? What's a UA?
Yes. It's basically a urine test. Because in sober living, you are required to make sure, well, I say required, but I use that loosely because there's a lot of people relapsing in sober living. But we are certified, so we carry that standard everywhere. But we do random UA testing. All sober living homes should be doing random tests, because
drug test, that's what UA stands.
It's a drug test. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
So a drug test. So we have her go. When I tell y'all what she gets paid, y'all are gonna be like, what? Like, I can't even break this down to y'all enough. Like, it's so much I want to say. But with the UA person, she's required to show up 3 times a week. Okay. It can never be on schedule, and it's per house. Every house is like this. It cannot be on schedule, which they love that. That's why they want this job, even though it doesn't pay a lot of money. But they show up 3 times a week, random times, anytime throughout the day, and they must take a UA test. So in the beginning, we kept getting people like, oh, I can't pee right now. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll catch you next time. But no, we can't catch you next time, because then that's when y'all start messing up, and then it make me look bad. So what we did is now the rule is either you take this UA, or if you cannot pee, y'all know I told y'all I'm a researcher, right? I didn't found saliva tests. Lance, if you don't know about this, get them saliva tests, okay? Them saliva tests, put it in their mouth. You got to watch them, because they'll try not to swab it around. But I'll take it and be like, do like this, and then just let it go. But with them saliva tests, if they can't pee, then they can definitely put it in their mouth and hold it in their mouth. If long as it gets enough saliva on it, it can give you a reading within 7 minutes. And if they don't pass that, like if it comes up invalid, now you got to go to a lab test. You're responsible to pay for it. It's $39, and you're going to get observed. They don't want that.
And this is why the industry is on standby when it comes to this girl right here, because she is on point.
Well, thank you.
Yes, indeed.
She's on point. Lance, you better be taking notes down there. I hope your head's like this taking notes,
Please
my
do,
friend. 'cause
please do,
she
please
Oh, come on,
is
baby.
dropping
I'm not coming
There
here
you
to
go.
hang
No
out.
takers or money makers. Trust me. No takers or
good
money
because
makers.
she's
Oh my
dropping jewels left and
Yeah.
right, man. It's just
Yes.
jewels left and right
Yes.
on everybody here.
Oh
And
yeah.
Lance, I know
So-
it might get expensive with those drug tests,
Mhm.
but if you do like you can do two tests a week as well. I mean, you can change that how you want. You might even want to do one. But just to keep the integrity of your home, I recommend doing more than one. But also you can go to Amazon, buy them in bulk. You're good.
Yeah, and you're talking like you test everyone who's at the house, or you wait till they're all at the house. Like,
Nope.
No. You never know. You never
Whoever's
know.
there at the time gets
Yes,
tested.
indeed.
But we do keep records. So I forgot to tell y'all one more person that we have. I included the house supervisor instead of the actual person. Then we have our administrative assistant.
Mhm.
Our administrative assistant handles all the paperwork and keeps track of the drug tests. Everything that's administrative wise, she handles.
Yeah.
So what her job is to do, because sometimes you have people, they're not going to be there to get the drug test. So she's paying attention. So if somebody doesn't get a drug test in a week, we're calling them and now they just got to go to the lab because obviously your schedule is just all of a sudden really busy. So let me just go ahead and
Okay.
send you to the lab so you can get that done and then come back and do what
You
gotta
didn't
do.
probably have all this on your first home, though. I'm assuming you started growing
No,
and
we
you
grew.
added.
So-
We grew.
Yeah, we grew.
We had drug tests.
We had drug
We always
tests.
did that.
Yeah, but
Yes.
we didn't have the system that we have right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first home, matter of fact, our first 3 homes was all hands on.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. We just now, and Jermaine has been telling me for a long time, like, boo, come on, you're gonna have to let go a little bit. And I'm like, no, this is my baby. No one's gonna love it like
Nah,
me.
she was trying to
Well,
hold on to me.
hang on a second. Before we go, because now we're jumping off a topic here.
Sorry.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
let me
go
rephrase
ahead.
that. No, let me rephrase that. It's not jumping off a topic. We're like, so we're
Keep us right. Keep us right.
yeah, because there's just some parts that's going to take us into the next coming weeks that I don't want to do now, and
Gotcha.
I want to, you know what I'm saying, because we want to get into details about this stuff, right? Just in the structure alone that you just broke down here in the past 10 minutes with the question Lance asked you, you covered the landlords, you covered the leadership, you covered how not to get burnt when it comes to drug tests, what to do with the drug test if you're trying to get away with the drug test. You're about to cover the legality about this stuff. Like now we're talking about the person who structures this thing here. And I'm saying to myself, all this and this girl, first of all, Jermaine, I gotta hit you next. So you don't get comfortable because I'm coming for you in a minute.
Yes, indeed.
But this girl over here, okay, she with a smile, and I said from the beginning, and I'm still saying it again, with a smile from ear to ear, she's just dropping jewels left and right, right?
Thank you.
And so all this, and there is no, and Jules, you tell me, there's no college degree, there's no medical license, there's no.
Dang, Edwin, why you gotta call us out like that?
No, go somewhere. Jermaine, do me a favor. Tell her to go somewhere for now. I'm putting her out there on the bus. Julie, you follow me here. There's no legal, like she didn't go to law, right? She didn't go to law school to do this legal thing about how, if you don't pass a drug test, things are going to happen. She just dropped on Lance, listen, you want to save some money? The best way of doing it, get a bulk. Get a container, have them parked in the back of your house.
There you go.
Better that way, right? And it's all this, and she's doing it with a smile, and you guys are just packing it like it's nobody's business. Like this is how it's happening, just as comfortable as it could possibly be.
Yes,
Julie, how am I doing?
You're doing great. You're doing great. And guys,
You're doing good. Edwin.
you're doing amazing. They had a presentation and we can still do it, but we kind of wanted to keep it light and bubbly and fun. So at any time we can always put the presentation up and you guys can see it, but it's just good to answer your questions in the first, and then the second, third, and fourth, they're going to really lay out and go through their presentation. But this was just an intro. So the questions are popping in the chat. Somebody asked about, what happens if the resident fails a drug test? So we can answer that. And Melissa, you can go back and, kind of go through your presentation and kind of hit the fundamentals. We do want to cover the fundamentals on this one because when we hit next week, we're going into a different topic. So
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Indeed.
So the question is, what happens if they fail a drug test? So with our program, we're zero tolerance. They have that expectation the moment they come into the house. It may sound kind of mean, but it's not, you guys. Like, really, they need the structure and they want the structure. And with this program, because you are not program, but with sober living, because you are dealing with real lives, we're not talking about just tenants who get in a place, rent it, do whatever they want to do. You're responsible for lives. So because of that, we don't play with it. So they already know, hey, if you fail a drug test, unfortunately, this program is not for you. But we don't just kick them out and say, boom, you're gone. We do kick them out, but we don't say, boom, you're gone. Instead, what we do is say, hey, unfortunately, according to the policy, you understand that if you fail a drug test, we have to let you go. But here, let me give you the name and number of these treatment centers so you can go ahead and take yourself back to treatment. Because failing a drug test and going back to drugs after you've been without it for a while, now you're kind of you're getting back into that routine, and it's hard to stop. You can't trust that if they've been on heroin and they're 30 days free of heroin or 45 days free, and then they slip up and do it again, that they can come back to your home and be okay. They're not going to be okay. You got to let them go back to treatment. So the answer to your question is they do have to leave. Now, there have been a situation where somebody, he went and smoked weed and we let him back in. He had a situation where his daughter was raped and he found out. And instead of him coming to us or going to his sponsor, or getting the help that we make sure they all have accessible to him, he slipped up. He went and smoked some weed. Thank God that's all he did, and he didn't go shoot up in his neck, which is he was known to do before us. So for him, we did let him back in, but we had a good talk with him, and we explained that now his levels have to decrease, and within 30 days it has to be out of his system. So now we're sending him to take more tests at the lab, not at home anymore. Now he has to go to the lab and take these tests that he pays for. Okay. And it has to show that it's going down. And as long as it's going down, he was able to get a second chance, but it wouldn't be a third chance.
Right.
So you just remember to make sure that you don't play when it comes to drug testing, because one bad apple can ruin your whole house.
Right.
And we really went through one time we had to do a whole reset and everybody had to go.
Yes.
And we just have to reset.
Wow.
Yeah.
That only happened once, but it is.
We've turned a women's home into a men's home. We shut down the whole operation and turned it into a men's home.
And just this quick, it could fill up. So, you got to do what's best for your company and what's best for everybody else.
Which brings me to the next question. That was from Elizabeth. Elizabeth, come here, hon. Where's Elizabeth had a question that just related to what you guys just said.
Where you at, Elizabeth?
We can't hear you. You're talking.
Oh, she can't hear. So Eddie just asked, amazing information. How long do they stay at the houses?
As long as they want.
As long as they want. We're not God.
Yeah. Everybody's move on different timing. So you do have some sober. I'm sorry, honey.
No, go ahead.
You do have some sober living houses. They'll be like, you got 6 months. But we don't do that because everybody's at different levels. We've had people come in and transition out because the goal is that they transition out of your home. You don't try to hold on to these people. Like, great if they want to stay long and they're working the program. But if you see that they're outgrowing your program and it's now time for them to get their own place, let them do that. They have family that they need to get back in touch with. They have other things that they need. They don't need to just only be with you because you don't want to lose a good resident. So let them go. But there is a such thing as them leaving too early. So we have people like in our program, we help them get a job, we help them get set up. They start making a little bit of money. They kind of think, oh, boom, I'm ready. I can go move out, get my own place. But we kind of discourage them from moving too quickly because what we found is a lot of people, they leave and then they need to come right back because they go from this structured environment to the freedom, and it's hard for them. Matter of fact, with our vets, a lot of them like to stay as long as they can. So we do let them, as long as they're thriving, you guys. If they're not thriving and if they're like resetting, then you don't want them to stay. But if they're thriving and they're going to their meetings that they're required to go to for NA or AA, then let them stay. But a lot of them, they tell us, hey, man, I'm not ready. I can't go out on my own. I want to stay here as long as I can. And they have a relief when we say, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Stay as long as you like, as long as you're working the program.
Right.
Awesome. And then we have Shinyi. how you say her name? I don't want to butcher this poor girl's name.
Shinny.
Shinny, you got it. You nailed it. But I think
Awesome.
Algordo raise his hand first. Maybe we'll
Oh
have to
yeah, we didn't
ask
see
that,
him.
and then I can go to my question next. Thank you.
What's
Eddie.
up, Edorado?
Are you talking to me?
Hey,
All right.
yeah, man.
You talking to me?
Yeah, it's my nickname is Eddie with a Y, not an I. All right, so
Gotcha.
I've been working with a broker who lives in Hawaii that is working with these types of projects in New York. They have already done like 4 sober living facilities, and now either the government or a powerful government event organization wants them to do a homeless shelter. I just thought it will be proven convenient because I'm trying to find funding. It's PML gap funding for the homeless shelter. They're asking 350,000 K. It's a gap fund, and the due date is the 9th and or the 20th.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you guys would be willing to invest in this opportunity for the homeless shelter, but I thought that maybe if anybody here wants to, maybe maybe we could do something to build upon this all together.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Did I screw anything up?
No, you
No,
did.
No,
You
buddy,
did.
no,
You did
no, you
perfectly
did good.
fine.
You did good.
Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah, that's definitely something that can be discussed, later on. That's definitely something to be discussed. And I'm sure there may even be people already on this call that's also interested. So that's nice that you offered that to everyone. So
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. To
and
keep
I
in
saw you have a
mind.
Go High Level shirt on. I love Go High Level.
Yes, yes. Well, I think we got all the questions answered, so we can continue. Thank you.
Wait,
Thanks
I think
everyone for the
somebody gave
questions.
me.
Shinny.
Oh, Shinny, I'm so sorry. Oh my
It's okay,
God. Oh my
Jill.
God. Just hit me on the head. Go ahead.
I'll keep it really short because I'm sure we have a lot more thing we're
No,
going to
go
talk
for it.
about for the
That's fine.
next few. So just real quick, I was wondering because I was talking with another very successful sober living operator in Houston, Texas. So this is what I learned from him. I wonder if you guys did the same thing. Instead of signing a standard lease with all your clients, he structured it in some sort of membership agreement. So I'm just curious that how you operate. That just kind of give him more flexibility in terms of there's an issue that you don't have to go through eviction process, because sometimes, let's just be honest, sometimes they came in, it may not be a good mix, right? So I wonder, how do you structure your term with your client?
I am so happy you asked that question. Like, listen to this. There's no lease. You're a program. You're a program. We don't, it's not like if you're renting out your house and there's tenant rights. There's no tenant rights involved in this. This is strictly a program. So whenever people come to our sober living homes, there's a licensee agreement that we have them sign, which basically just spells out to them, this is what you pay. This is when it's due. You understand this is not a lease. You have no tenant rights. You understand that you're a part of the program and you must follow this, and this. They sign that along with other papers that we have, just to keep us legally compliant and make sure that in the event we were ever go to court, we're going to be protected. But there's no lease. There's no eviction process. I have not ever done an eviction process. Matter of fact, we had the police show up at a house because a guy called the police on himself.
Yeah.
We had the police show up. And,
That's a true story.
Yeah.
He really
And
did.
he's like, I live here, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, no, he's a part of a program. And the rule is if he breaks these rules, he has got to go. The policeman literally told me to show him the paperwork. And I was on the phone. I wasn't physically there.
I was.
Yeah. You was there for the second one.
Yeah.
At this time, we wasn't physically there. And then all we did is I sent it to the house, the living house supervisor at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Sent them the form to give to the cop. And
Police,
it was it. And they made him leave.
He had to go. They do not
Ah.
have tenant rights.
They don't have the rights.
That's just like them
Okay.
saying, I live in a hospital. Or I live in a
Okay.
treatment center. It's a recovery home.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get kicked out of the hospital, you can't say you live in a hospital. You can't say you stay in a treatment center. You know what I'm saying? Like you have no rights.
Right.
And if you
Yeah,
structure your
rights.
policy the right way, they sign that. You let them know that the day that they do onboarding, you let them know that they do not have tenant rights. You are not a tenant. You're a part of a program.
Yeah. And they're
Right.
actually familiar with it already. They already know because usually everyone who I recommend you take, the majority is coming from a treatment
The
center.
treatment center is a similar
Okay.
setup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
Mhm.
already familiar with how it works. This and a lot of them have been in sober living homes before. It's barely do we come across many that hasn't ever been in one.
Right. Right.
A lot of them have experience with it already.
I
And, you
gotcha.
know, Lance made a very good point there. You know, you gotta look at it more like a renting a hotel, like
Mhm.
lodging.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
break
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
rules.
Lodging, yeah.
Yeah, you
Right.
break the rules, gotta go.
You gotta go.
Plain and simple.
Gotta
Plain
go.
and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Okay.
And then we have Norma. Who's Norma?
Norma. We have one before that. Let's go to Tanika. Let
Hey,
me
Tanika.
Tanika.
Hello. I am
Hey.
curious to know you guys mentioned that the tenants have jobs, but I was just wondering who pay the fees for them to live in the facilities, or is it solely the tenants, or there are other government programs?
Okay. Tanika, where's your video camera?
Yeah.
And yeah, Tamika. Yeah, Tanika. Where
we
is
call
it?
them out.
Yeah,
Call them
There
out.
she
there she
is.
is.
Call them out. Call them out.
And
Call them out.
just so you
Who
know,
we talking to?
and just so you know, before you answer that question, that's for week 2. That question actually for
Okay.
week 2. So if you want to kind of make it short for her since she asked, by all means, but that's a week 2 question.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go real short. I think the answer to your question, you asked me who pays for it. Is that what you asked me?
The fees, yeah, the cost of
Okay.
living at your facility, yeah.
There's programs.
Okay.
That's probably.
Is that short enough, Julie?
I will be back when
Right.
the answer
I
is
love it.
fully shared.
Right. We was about to go in because this is what we do. We
I
love
would've went
talking
in.
about
All
this,
of
but we don't
them.
want to get
Yes.
in trouble.
Okay.
No. There's no trouble.
No,
We're
no,
so.
good job.
It's called Chillin with Julz for a reason. We're just chilling
Yes.
and learning.
Yeah,
We're
we're
just
learning.
we're just chilling, and Julie's dropping jewels. That's how we
dropping
roll
jewels.
with it.
No, they're dropping jewels. This is so. I'm taking
Yes,
notes.
that's the
Dropping
right
Like
jewels
saying.
there's
with
so
jewels.
much.
We're dropping jewels
Yes.
with jewels.
That's
There you
right.
go.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank you,
indeed.
Tanika. I hope to
Thank
see you
you.
next week.
Thank you,
I
love.
will. I'll be back.
Um,
Thank you.
And
And
the
then
Zoom
you
meeting
wanna
is
ask-
ending. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye,
See you,
Eduardo.
Eddie.
Eddie.
See you later.
The meeting is ending, right?
No, we're going, man.
No.
We're chilling.
Oh,
We chilling, man.
sorry. That's
You're okay. You're okay. Stay
Eddie, you ain't gotta go. You can stay with us, buddy.
no. I don't have to. I don't have to go. I just thought people were shutting down and everyone is leaving, so I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you
okay.
could go
No
high
worries.
level.
No worries.
Norma asked a
Norma.
question.
Well, hi there. Sorry, I'm doing the garden.
Hey, Miss.
Oh, how you doing? How you doing?
So you were talking about policies that you have in place. Are there policies that you are prepared or can share with us if we decided, well, not if, when we decide to open our
Love it.
thing home,
Love that.
push start?
Yeah.
Yep, I love it
Yes,
too. And
sir.
guess what? That's a week 2 question too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Sorry,
Yes,
Miss
indeed.
Norma. I love you. I like to see what you
Sorry.
got in the garden, but you gotta come back on Saturday for that.
Right.
So you're getting
I
hope you got
another
some
short
tomatoes.
question or short answer.
I guess people are really excited about this.
Yes, it's
Yes,
it's
indeed.
We
amazing.
hope so. We need as many operators to open
do.
up, sober living homes that are actually like that have a passion to do it because there's a need for it. So
Yes, indeed.
Jermaine, I'm going to ask you this question. This is a short answer because people have been asking questions for week 2 because that little young lady with the cute smile sitting next to you has been just dropping bombs left and right, just jewels after jewels after
Sorry.
jewels. You know,
This is
But-
new for me, by the way, because normally I'm the one talking.
Oh yeah.
I'm the one I'm
Oh.
talking. So I love this.
But can I say this much? it's not even the education behind it. It's the passion what you guys are just dropping all of this with.
Mhm.
That
Yes.
alone speaks in itself. So that's why I'm starting to go like, these are week 2 questions. We're not going to get ahead of it because we get ahead of it, we're going to be here till the 4th of July. Okay. So I'm going to ask you this one question because everybody's been going into week 2. And I want a short answer, okay? Mr. I am the deal.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. We know that you guys figured out how to start this with the flyers, how to bring in the people that need the help, how to cater to these people that need the help, how to get the structure done properly to help these people care for their addiction and mentally, physically, and so on and so forth. Next week, we're going to talk about the licensing, the system, the staffing, the structure
Systems.
again. But yeah, exactly. We're going to get a little bit more into depth with that. That's week 2. But with that, when I say, Mr. I am the deal, that's part of week 2. So give me a small answer. How do you find the deals?
To be honest, you know, we use my wife, she's a licensed realtor.
Jesus
So with me,
Christ.
yeah. So cats out the
Hang on a
bag.
second. Hey,
I'm sorry.
just hang on a
Now,
second.
she did finish
Hang
that
on a
twice.
second. Mel, is there anything that we need to know that you're just not doing? I mean, just let it out now.
Listen, y'all be surprised. Like, I'm loving the glow now, but I've been hard on her. I ain't gonna lie. Like I've been hard on her. Like, I don't. I come from a tough background, so I'm like, listen, we're not fit to miss opportunities. We're not gonna miss opportunities to gain knowledge. She went for her license twice. She got it the first time. She said, I don't want to do it anymore. I said, listen, the next time I said, boo, you got to go back. I got a plan. I see something. I need you to go back and get your license again. You done it the first time. I'm not a test taker. Cat's out the bag. I don't like doing that, but she loved taking tests. So she went back and got it for the second time. And then that's what rolled up until now. So me being me, you know, I joined the sub 2 community about 4 years ago. I became a student about a year ago. So I started like really learning wholesaling, and I started learning how to do creative deals and different little things like that. So once I figured that out, so the first house we have, real short answer. The first house we got, we had other properties, but it's this one house that I fell in love with. I had to see it. I seen seller financing. And I was talking to God for like 2 or 3 days. And I was like, I need something. I can't figure out what it is. I need something. So I kept seeing signs, yellow signs, seller finance. And then I said, Paige talk about seller finance. And then my mother called. She said, son, I seen this one house. I talked to this man, and this man said something about we can have a down payment. I said, Mom, what are you talking about? She said, I seen a yellow sign. I said, God, that's crazy. I said, you talking about the yellow sign by Dollar General? She said,
The
yeah.
same house.
Shit. So I called the dude, and we had like 3 projects going on at this time. We was renovating like 3 projects. So me being me, I had to try to butter her up. I'm like, hey, listen, boo, listen. I know you said we can't do anything else, right? Because I'm a jumper. Cat, I'm a jumper. No parachute, no none. I'm a jump. So, and I knew I was trying to gas her up. I'm just kind of butter her up. You know, I had to take her out to eat, stuff like that. So, yeah. Now that she mentioned house, nobody said anything about houses. We're eating. Now that she mentioned house,
He's telling the truth, by the way.
this is a true story. I said, now that you mentioned house, listen, I passed this one house, and I had already talked to the dude. I knew what the price was. I went by the house, looked at it, went into the backyard. I fell in love with it. Once I see it, I can't unsee it. It's very hard for me to change my mind. So I said, listen, it's this house. It's a seller finance deal. She said, she's a realtor, by the way. You know, realtors, they go by the book. Anything else outside of what the broker teaches them is illegal. In their mind, it is illegal, and it is not of the Lord. It's the devil, Ricky Bobby. But you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking. I'm like, but this is house. I love this house. She said, I tell you what, if you can make it happen, go do it. So I went in the sub 2 community, and I'm looking. I say, listen, I need somebody help me structure this deal. Because I didn't know about seller financing. All of our houses, we bought cash. All of them. All of them, but this one right here. So I'm like, okay. So somebody in the sub 2 group helped me out with it.
And the new sub 2 deal that we got.
Oh, and a new sub 2 deal, but I'm going to justify for it. But
Sorry.
so with that one, so somebody in the sub 2 community helped me structure it. They helped me raise the funds to do it, because she said, if you can go do it, you can do it, but we can't take money out of the other pots. You can't tell me that. I'm a hustler. I went and found a way. You know what I'm saying? So we went and did it. We closed it. And she said, oh, that worked? She thought sub 2 and creative finance and seller finances was illegal. So once she seen that work,
Well, the way that
the way it was taught, it sounds like it's so too good to be true.
Yeah.
Hey, but
So-
don't
But
don't
it's
you
real,
know?
it's
Don't you guys know that everything Pace does is illegal? It's a scam. It's this
Everything
big
Pace is illegal.
government
scam.
conspiracy thing.
So I would have her jump on the calls. She said, no, that's illegal. That's not true. That's not true. So when we closed the deal,
Pace is not gonna like me now knowing I said
He will.
we proved him right.
I mean,
We
true.
proved
Yeah,
him right.
yeah.
You know. So we closed the deal. She was so surprised that it worked. We have several sub 2 houses now. Now that she's seen it work, it's cast out the bag. So that's why they call me Mr.
Now this brain is there's not even a light bulb in the back of Mel's head. They're just sparks and firecrackers, fireworks happening up back there.
Mind blowing.
Yeah,
Mind blowing.
yeah.
Mind blowing.
So now that's the go-to. Is there a sub 2 deal that we can find?
Yeah.
But if not, like, don't
Credit
get twisted
finance.
either. Like, you know, I'm still open to rent too, because like right now we need another house. So it's just like, you know, sometimes you got to rent, but sometimes you can buy if you got it.
There you go.
So
So would it be safe to say that maybe Pace's community is not a scam anymore? I mean,
oh no, it's not a scam. No.
It's not a scam.
No.
And what's so crazy is a lot
I
of
don't
people
think it's a
say
scam.
that sounds like a cult. I'm like, wait, what?
That's what we put in the chat. That's what we put in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy because really people like that sound like a cult. I'm like, but you go to church.
Oh,
I know. I'm just saying. You know. I mean, I've not once seen Pace take up offering. I'm just saying. Cast out the bag.
Listen.
Pace is the real deal. It's the real deal. It's just real estate, you know, the traditional sense of it. They don't teach that. Like when I took it to my broker, like even my broker, like it was a deal I was wanting to use me as the realtor on. It was really, you know, Jermaine's deal. But I was telling her, hey, I'm about to do a sub 2 deal. And she started saying I had to notify the bank and get her a copy of the letter that they are okay with it. And I'm like, if I do that, that's going to activate the sale. Like I can't do that.
Right.
So they just don't teach it to you, and they act like it's not a real thing, but it really is. It's a real thing.
Right.
It's a real thing.
So
And
to
it's-
shorten it up, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's a real thing, and they show you, and him and the community inside this community, they show you how to do it the right way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I look for creative finance deals, seller finance deals, sub 2 deals, prop stream, batch leads, and different little things like that. And she's a realtor, so she has access to the MLS system. So I just look for expired listings and foreclosures and all of that good stuff, and I just shoot for them.
Or now
So
partnerships.
Yeah, partnerships. Yeah, now.
So I started this. So let me just say that because yeah. Let me just say this to you guys. I started this today's chat with the both of you here, right? Earlier today I told you guys that you guys have a lot of things that takes me back home. Even listening to your stories, we shared quite a few things here. I'm pretty sure a lot of our guests here and people who might be looking at this in the future, hopefully, will relate to what where you guys have been, what you guys have done, what you guys are at today, this very minute, where you guys are going to be in the future, right? So let me give you an idea. Back on Easter Day, what was it? A Sunday, I think it was. It was a Sunday, Easter Sunday. I was on the phone with Julie, and Julie said, Pace is doing the Easter Sunday thing. And I'm like, oh, cool. Let's, get on his Zoom. Hit Pace's Zoom. And this is for, the joke has always been, as you know, Pace's community is a cult or is a scam or some giddy jabby thing that, well, this is the primary example why this community is built the way it is. You two are one of those powerhouse example, right? During that Zoom, the day Pace spoke about it, it wasn't about how to make money. It wasn't about Gator. It wasn't about sub two, deals, and whatever else that we got going on. It was just about us. And when I mean us, I mean people. Um, People with the struggles. And to save my life, it has not stopped because here are you two. Here are you two right here. It has not stopped. It kept on going and going and going. And I know you said don't start because you're gonna get me choked up, but when you hear this, it's the truth because I told Julie, I think Julie and me were supposed to get on the call, and I said I need to have a conversation with my mom. And she says, anything I could do? I said, yeah. Go spend some time with your mom because this is not a video game. You don't get to reset the button and start over again, right?
Yeah.
And so just a quick idea of where I'm going with this. I'm also adopted. So a lot of that, like you, Jeremy, I just call you Jeremy because of my brother, but I had that anger because I used to think that my mom, my dad didn't want, my biological parents didn't want me. Like I was trash. And I became somebody that was always the excuse. Somebody's trash, somebody's treasure. And then, you bring me to the States. I'm eating Frosted Flakes with water. I feel like I'm young. I'm struggling, and we don't understand that until we get older that we start realizing these things, right? It gives you a mental toll. It gives you like one of those, you want to do drugs or you want to eat a bullet for that matter. You start doing all the wrong stuff, right? And so where I'm going with this is you guys provide a service to people who need you, people who say, I need help. Hey, I am Jermaine. I am Melissa. Here I am. How can I help you? This is what Pace does. This is what he had blasted into the community, i.e., here are you two doing exactly what he does. Here's what Julie does. I piggyback off of Julie, and it just goes upstream from there.
Each one teach one.
So
Iron sharpen iron.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Iron sharpens iron.
So I wanted to end today's Zoom by telling you guys that I love you. I love the both of you. Very, very extremely huge amount of respect. Extremely amount of respect to the both of you.
No, make
I
the heart.
can't-
Make the heart.
Make the heart.
Yeah, girl.
She want me to make a heart.
I told him no, make
Hey,
the heart.
right,
make the heart.
right here, boy. Right, put it right there. Pound
No.
it.
Fist bump. There we go. There we do
Fist bump right there. An amazing amount of respect for you guys. You two, in the time that I've been doing this, before Julie, with Julie, up to today, I have not met anybody. I have not had a conversation with anybody or even heard of the topic sober home living until you two popped up on the radar. So
wow.
I really hope to God that the good Lord blesses you guys and everything you got coming, and get ready for round two, because round two, we're going to get even deeper.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
We're
we
ready to
will.
go deep.
And just a quick story how we met. We met at Squat Up, Jermaine and we were just in the hallways and we were just talking. I'm a vet, he's a vet. We talked. I mean, he was serving vets at the time, and I'm like, dude, that's right along with what I want to do. And then we were invited to lunch with some other people and with veterans, and we just sat around. And I'm like, I told him, I'm going to call you. And of course, you get so busy after Squat Up. And the Lord has just been on my heart. You gotta connect with him. So I think it was Thursday. I called and I said, dude, maybe Wednesday. I'm like, hey, we need to talk. I want to get this. I want to tell you what I'm doing, and I want you guys on to share what you're doing. And this was Thursday. We jumped on a call, and Saturday, this is today, that we already have this. We planned the 4-week, and with Edwin's help, and with my, Elizabeth and Fatima, we're ready. And Joel was great. Jamie's great. Everybody in here helping us put this together to have it starting today. I'm like, we can move it back. They're like, no, we're rolling Saturday. So I call Edwin and I'm like, dude, we're putting together sober home. He's like, which Tuesday? I'm like, no, dude, we're doing this on Saturdays. It's 4 Saturdays. He's like, what? 4 Saturdays?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, 4 Saturdays back to back in May. We got to deliver this. People need to hear about this. They need to hear what the Walkers are doing. And we're helping veterans. I mean, they're in debt to my heart and just helping them. And I want you guys to close with the suicide. You know, veterans commit suicide every single day. And as a vet myself and you know, what they do for the country and where we're at right now, it's just giving back to them. So I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for doing this with us. And for those of you who are here with us today and who will be throughout the weeks, I just want to thank you all and for wanting to be operators to help others, whether they're veteran or not, but also to help people who and to create sober homes. So thank you all. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Oh my God,
Appreciate you.
Tanika, veteran myself. All right, thank you for being a vet yourself, Tanika.
Her and her husband.
Her and
Oh,
her
wow.
husband. Yes, thank you. Wow,
Woo,
thank
thank
you.
you for your
indeed.
service,
Yeah.
Tanika.
Yeah.
So
And so, guys, before we roll, I want to be able for people who are not being able to see the video. This video might be here for the other 3 along the way. I want them to be able to reach you guys.
Okay.
How can they reach you? If I wanted to reach you, how can I reach you? Let's start with you, Smiley, because you just full of jewels. I mean, diamonds.
I'm almost ashamed to say this, you guys. I'm gonna get my
here we
social
go.
media together, okay? I'm gonna get it. But right now, I'm only reachable on email, which is so bad. But I'm going to do
Jermaine.
literally.
I say this again. That's one of the
Is
things.
she
I'll be
serious?
on her. She's so serious.
Yeah.
She's so
I'm gonna get all that by the end of this 4 weeks.
You will.
I'm gonna have
Yes, you
social
will.
media.
I know.
Yeah,
You
Okay.
will. You will.
We
You
got
are
a lot
forgiven
of
today.
rebranding. We're going through a rebranding phase. So right now, it's I'm at Mr. I'm the Deal on all social media platforms.
Very good.
And
Thank you.
yes, indeed. Yeah. So they just keep it simple like that. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. And I can share my Blink card in the
Of course.
Yeah,
if
please.
anyone
You
wants
drop
to.
them all the information in your
Cool.
chat so everybody
Okay.
can pick it up from there. Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm behind, but you guys are gonna see my progress. This is
That's
a
right.
transparent me that like I'm horrible with
Yeah,
that. I'm gonna get
absolutely.
it. But also, you know, via email to Melissa at Mr. I Am the Deal. And we're gonna have also info at Building for Recovery with an R. I mean, excuse me, with the 4. buildingforrecovery.org.
Building for recovery. Okay. And so just to give everybody an idea for week 2, we're going to talk about foundation, the building of the machine, the license, the system, the staffing, the structure. So don't nobody miss it. Those are here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
you,
Thank you all
guys.
so
See you
much.
back on the next Saturday. Please come. Blast it out to everybody else. Tell them to go watch this first episode on Julz podcast. She will put it up there for everybody there. And we will see you. I will see you on the second one. So we'll be Julz. And Melissa, Jermaine, again, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I will see you guys on Saturday.
Thank you
Thank
for
you all so
having
much.
us.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank
Bye,
you
guys.
guys.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.
Julie,
All right,
she's
bye.
yours.
All right.
So,
Thank you all so much. We love you guys.
Right?
Bye. Thanks everybody for coming.
Appreciate you.
I met Mr. on the Deal in the WhatsApp groups a long time ago. Phew. And have a great
Ooh,
day,
awesome.
everyone.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Eduardo. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.